Alright guys, so how did I find out that I am a sickle cell carrier? It's due to the baby, it's due to being pregnant, or otherwise I would not have known. I realized after speaking with my doctor that it's the norm here, he said, for people to get checked for the sickle cell disease or trait before trying to have a child. No, I'm from Jamaica. I'm not aware of that. Because I was thinking that if I had sickle cell, I would have known, because that's not something you can hide any at all, right? So I found out that I am a sickle cell carrier, right? After doing a blood test. To be honest, I was shocked. And I was like, oh my God, so what does that mean? What does this mean for me? But more importantly, what does this mean for my baby? Because, you know, I've seen people with sickle cell and the things that it does to them. I've watched TikTok videos with people explaining that whenever they have an attack, it's like they feel like it's sharp glass, like going through their veins or something like that. They were explaining that seems quite traumatic and quite painful. All right. Anyway, so let me just get into it. Right. So basically, I did a blood test to see if I have sickle cell, and of course it came back to my surprise that I'm a sickle cell carrier, and the code is for me HbAs. So the Hb just stands for hemoglobin, and then the As, it simply means the two genes that I would have gotten, one from my dad, one from my mom. Now the A gene signifies that it is a superior quality gene, and it's like chef's kiss, yeah? But the S now signifies that's not the best gene. It's an abnormal gene, as a matter of fact. And that is how I end up being a carrier. So I don't have sickle cell disease, but I have the trait. So what does that mean for me? It means that if I'm in low oxygenated areas, that it affects my breathing. Now, before I even realized I was pregnant, I was doing simple things like I bend down to tie my shoelace, or I walk up a stairs or down a stairs, or just simple everyday normal things. I'll walk from one place to the next, and I got so winded. I felt exhausted so quickly, and I couldn't understand. Of course, now that I know that I'm pregnant, I understand it, but I got worried because I'm like, oh my God, I'd never want to know that because of me, that my child would have been affected with such a horrible and debilitating disease, you know? So they explained to me that, listen, I'm a carrier. I don't have sickle cell disease. I have the trait. So again, I have to be in areas which are high oxygenated. So you know what that means? I'm going to have to move to the country, because boy, especially where I live, Lord, the amount of vehicles pass by here, right? So it's not good for me. But each time I go to the hospital, you know, they check my CO smoke. Yeah, they check for things like that, right? And it's at 0 or 1. They say once it's below 4, everything is fine. I don't need to worry. So whenever I go for my appointments, I'm still okay. But I do get winded. Not as much, but it still happens. And I can tell that my breathing is different. Alright, what does it mean for the child me being a sickle cell carrier? It means that if the father, when he's tested, because he will also be getting a test soon, it means that if he is tested and he also has the gene, then the likelihood of the baby having it full blown, I think, is high. I hope I'm not spreading wrong information here. The fact is, if he's tested for it and he's positive, then it would pose much of an issue for the child. But the fact that I'm only a carrier and I don't have the actual disease, then the child will not have the disease. Yeah, the most a child would have once he's negative is just a trait. And I've lived to 40 years, feeling healthy enough. I do have a health condition. I'll speak about that in another video. But yeah, you know, so if I wasn't pregnant, guys, chances are I'd never know that I have this sickle cell trait. But anyway, guys, I hope you learned something from this video. So if you are trying to get pregnant or trying to get someone else pregnant, please go and get tested for sickle cell disease, because it can mean so much for the life of you and for the life of your child or children. Okay, all right, so I'm Dee and I'm a 40 years old aspiring stay-at-home mom, pregnant for the first time. Yes, and I'm living in a shared house in the UK. Yes, guys, it's shelter. Don't be ashamed of where you are, where you live. You have a roof over your head, so be grateful for it every day. The more thankful we are is the more we will get. Okay, all right, so until next time, I'm Dee. Yes, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.